You've used a fork thousands of times. But what if I told you this simple piece of metal was once considered sinful, effeminate, and even an insult to God? Yes, people were genuinely offended by the fork. Today we're going to uncover how a tiny tool sparked moral panic, religious outrage, and social scandal before becoming one of the most common objects on Earth. Let us go back, way back, to when eating with a fork was a crime of arrogance. For most of human history, people didn't use forks at all. Hands, knives, and spoons were enough. In ancient Egypt, Rome, and China, small, two-pronged tools existed, but they were mostly for cooking, serving, or carving, not for eating. Eating with a fork. That idea was not only unusual, it was suspicious. So meals were a hands-on experience. Literally, this sets the stage for our main character, a Byzantine princess who unknowingly triggered a cultural meltdown. Around the 11th century, a Byzantine noblewoman named Theodora Anna Doukaina moved to Venice for an arranged marriage. She brought jewelry, servants, luxury items, and something shocking: a tiny golden fork. She used it to delicately pick up food at the dinner table. To Italians of the time, this was outrageous. Priests began criticizing her publicly. They said she refused to touch God's gifts' food with the hands he had given her. She was called arrogant, decadent, and yes, sinful. One monk wrote that the fork was excessive delicacy and against the will of God. When the princess died young, religious leaders blamed her lifestyle and, unbelievably, the fork. Why so much drama? Because in medieval Europe, the fork symbolized three dangerous ideas: vanity, caring too much about cleanliness or appearance; luxury, using fancy tools instead of God-given hands; effeminacy, a word they used to describe behavior seen as soft or unmanly. Yes, this was their logic. The church preached humility. The fork looked like aristocratic excess, a rejection of simplicity. It wasn't just a utensil, it was a political statement, and Europe wasn't ready. For the next few centuries, the fork stayed rare, controversial, and mostly ignored. Then something unexpected happened. Italian food evolved. Pasta shapes became more common: spaghetti, fettuccine, tagliatelle. Try eating long noodles with your hands. It turns your dinner into a circus. Suddenly, the fork wasn't arrogant. It was practical. Italian merchants and nobles embraced it, not out of luxury, but necessity. By the Renaissance, wealthy families began importing and manufacturing forks. Silver, wood, bronze, all types. The fork transformed from sinful object to fashionable accessory. But it still wasn't universal. Yet, it took a superstar influencer to make the fork mainstream. Her name? Catherine de' Medici. When she married the future King of France in the 1500s, she brought her Florentine habits, including forks, to the French court. The French elite copied everything she did. Suddenly, if you used a fork, you weren't sinful. You were sophisticated. England resisted the longest. Some scholars mocked the fork as unnecessary foreign nonsense, but by the 1700s, the fork spread through Europe, then to America, and eventually became standard everywhere. A tool once hated became unavoidable. Today, the fork is so normal, we forget its strange history. We have dinner forks, salad forks, desert forks, fish forks, carving forks, even spokes, a symbol of sign, turned into a universal piece of cutlery. Humanity went from "God gave us fingers" to "I need 3 different forks for salad." So next time you pick up a fork, remember, you're holding a tool that survived scandal, religion, moral panic, and centuries of resistance, just to become something you barely think about. Funny how progress works. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next story.